For today's lesson, we'll be using this new software called Scratch to create an animation of how an ant crawls out of a hole in a table and moves across the table before disappearing. Now we will need to do the following. We'll need to import the background tabletop. We'll need to import the image of this ant, and we'll have to resize the image appropriately. Now first of all, let's go to Scratch 2. Now when you're in this software, you'll notice that there will be a stage here, and this is where you import the background, and this is the character or the sprite. You can also resize the sprite, or you can shrink the sprite. With these scissors, you can cut away the sprite. So as I was saying, this is the background where you have to import a background, and this is the sprite or the character whereby you have to import the character. So let us first import the backdrop or the background. So go to your student file in your thumb drive. Under Sec 2 student, go to PS5. Import this background of the tabletop. The next thing you do, you have to rename it to the proper name. So change this to, make sure that the name is tabletop. Alright, and you can also proceed to delete this background. Next, we'll have to import the sprite or the character. So click on Upload Sprite from File. Click on N1. You'll see a picture of these ants. Alright. What I will need to do is move the ant to where this hole is. Click on Costume. From here, I want you to click on the Fill with Color. Click on this tool to remove the white color of the ants. Once you have done this, you can click on the Select tool and rotate the picture. So this is the character that you have just imported. Next thing, what you can do is you can import other costumes. So here I can upload more costumes. I only have one character or one sprite, but now I can import more costumes. Click on N2 now. Again, I will need to do the same. So while N2 is being selected, we have to click on the Fill tool. Click on this to remove the white color of the ants. Next, click on the Select tool and resize it. Next, we'll need to import entry. Again, click on the Fill tool, click on this to remove the white color of the ants. Click on the Select tool. Alright, and then rotate it. So there you go. You have just imported the background and imported the character or sprite ends. and the N has 3 costumes. You can also proceed to resize the image of the N by shrinking it. The costume will also shrink accordingly. After which we'll proceed to do the scripting or the coding of this animation. So the scripting is done at this tab called scripts. Now we will want to make the N appear from the whole of the tabletop. The N would of course be appearing in costume 1, or N1. The N will then be walking towards the further end of the screen. Now while walking, the N will be changing costumes as it walks towards the end of the screen. And when it touches the end of the screen, the N will then disappear or hide. And that's the end of the animation. So what we will need to do is we will need to add scripts. So earlier on, we have imported the costumes, and when we want to put in scripts or codes, we have to click on this tab called scripts. Now the first thing you need to understand is that the scripts are divided into different categories. For example, these are scripts for motion. These are scripts for looks. Under costume, changing of looks. There will be scripts for events. And the first code that you need to know is this code called when green flag is clicked, or rather it's actually a play button. When you click on a green flag, what is the thing that will be played? There are also control scripts, and of course sensing scripts. Now there are also other scripts like scripts involving maths operations, which I will not be talking about in this lesson. So let us go back to where the instruction is. You want to place the N where the whole of the tabletop is. So when the green flag is clicked, you want the N to appear from this position here. Now you notice that when I move my cursor, there's actually some XY coordinates shown on the bottom right over here. As I move my coordinate, you see that there's some XY position shown through the movement of my cursor. So I want my N to appear here, and where my cursor is pointing is showing me my position. So the first thing you need to do, you want to make the N appear here, and this position is about -170, -83 as shown here. And you also want the N to appear in the first costume, which is N1. So this will be placed, switch to costume N1, go to this, and then the N will appear or show. So when if I move my N here, when I click on my green flag, my N must appear here, and it must appear with costume N1. Next, we'll want to make the N walk towards the further end of the screen, and while walking, the N will have to change costume. So to do this, we will need to use this control statement called forever. You want the N to be forever moving there, so we're going to add in under motion, the N will be moving 10 steps. So now when I click on my green flag, the N moves to the right, and you notice that the N does not hide. So it means that we need to add in some changes to these scripts over here. We would want the N to change costume while it walks towards the end of the screen. So what we need to do is, under control, we will need to add in wait 0.3 seconds. So the N will move 10 steps with 0.3, and the N will be changing to the next costume. So what it means is from N1, it will change to N2 as shown in this sequence of things over here. You'll be changing costume all the time. So now when I click on my green flag, play, the N is in fact moving 10 steps. Wait 0.3, change the next costume. Alright, this iteration, the thing that's repeating on and on and on. Alright, it's continue doing this. Notice that even when it touches the edge of the screen, it's still doing this continuously. Okay, the next step we need to do is we need to make the N disappear when it touches the end of the screen, and after which the animation will end. So what it means is we will need to add in one more control statement. We'll bring in this if, alright, and this is placed inside. The N is continue moving, but if it touches the edge, so I'm changing here, touching edge, what must happen is the N must hide. Okay, if it touches the edge of the screen, the N will then hide. So now when I click on my green flag, so you see that the N has now disappeared because the N was touching the edge just now. So now when I click on my green flag, the N will appear. In fact, the N switches to costume N1 first. Appear from this position, it shows, it moves 10 steps with 0.3 and changes to the next costume. And when it touches the edge, it will then hide. Right, so this is the animation that you need to do. Now, if you want to make some changes to it, you can also do things like making the N move 15 steps. Alright, instead of 0.3, 0.2. So what do you think this does to the animation? Thank you for watching my video.